Good morning, everybody. Nick Fry here, just woke up. I would open my eyes, but I would be absolutely blinded. It is about 6:30 in the morning. This is my first morning ever waking up in Seattle, Washington. And I'm here for one reason only. In one day, today, I am going to go on the Nirvana pilgrimage. And what that means, I am going to get out of bed and I'm going to go get a quick breakfast, and then I'm gonna hit Aberdeen, Washington, where Kurt Cobain was born, where he grew up, where Nirvana was essentially born, and check out all of the essential Nirvana landmarks there. Following that, gonna make some stops in Olympia on my way back towards Seattle. There's some things in Olympia that I want to see related to Nirvana. And then we'll head up to Seattle, where you got Paramount Theater, the studio where Bleach was recorded, plenty of stuff that I'm gonna cram all in one day. And I'm gonna bring you with me because I'm a nice guy. How nice am I? So yeah, sit back, relax, and if you're a Nirvana fan, this video's for you. This isn't just my first time in the Seattle area, it's also my first time ever in the Pacific Northwest. And so far, I landed yesterday, went to the Seattle Seahawks game. That was a lot of fun. I'm not like a fan of them or anything. Kansas City Chiefs all the way, baby, go Chiefs. But I'm a huge NFL fan. But yeah, all of the surrounding mountain areas are stunning. The sunset last night was gorgeous. Really pretty area up here. I'm having a great time so far. But now it's time to depart for the entire reason of my trip. Let's go. Chilly out here this morning. I can see my breath. Wow. Yeah, definitely chilly out here this morning, but it's supposed to warm up into, I believe, about the mid-60s. So some of you might be wondering, why would you want to cram all of this Nirvana stuff in one day when there's so much to see? Well, honestly, the simplest answer is because that's just what I wanted to do. Because the way that I wanted to document the day, the reason that I'm going to Aberdeen first, even though I'm up towards Seattle already right now, is I kind of want to have the day flow like an arc, you know? I want to start with the rise, where Nirvana was born, where they had their early days, stuff like that. Head more towards Seattle, stop in Olympia. That's kind of getting into more of the Nevermind era, the sort of explosion into the mainstream. And then I'm gonna wrap up the day going to the Kurt Cobain Memorial Bench, which is in downtown Seattle, and kind of end off on, you know, the fall of Nirvana. It's gonna be crazy to see all of this stuff that, you know, I've read about for so many years, that I've seen online for so many years with my own eyes. And as a big Nirvana fan myself, I'll get more into that in a second as to why this even matters so much to me. This is gonna be a memorable day for the rest of my life, for sure. So, wanted to document it for you all. Let's get to driving. So, the reason why this trip, why seeing these things means so much to me. If you're new around here, my name is Nick Fry, Nick's Music Taste, music journalism brand. I review music, I talk about music, I debate music, I rank music. I'm just a big music lover of all genres, and that all got started when I got into Nirvana. This was my senior year of high school. Nearly all of my middle school and high school years composed of me listening to primarily rap music. That was really it. As a matter of fact, there were only like a handful of rappers that I even listened to. So my music taste was really confined to this small hip-hop bubble. And then I listened to In Utero. Changed everything for me. Surfer Rosa, Master of Puppets. These are albums that In Utero led me to, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea, just all these different styles that I had never, ever really given a chance. But In Utero changed everything. Got me into all this different music as well as the rest of Nirvana's discography. And without In Utero, without Nirvana, I don't believe that I would be doing what I do. I don't believe that Nick's music taste would have ever been born. I truly mean that. So the whole basis of what I do for a career, I kind of have, not even kind of, I have Nirvana to thank almost entirely. That's why this trip matters so much to me. I need to go see all these different landmarks that has to do with the band with my own eyes to, fulfill all of that stuff. It'll be fulfilling. It'll be super meaningful. Headed to Tacoma, Washington to get breakfast right now. I'll talk to you in a second. All right, just got here for breakfast in Tacoma. I picked out this place called Hobnob, which did some research and looked like the place to go. Wow. I mean, are you kidding me? Looks amazing. Got my coffee. Okay. Well, Hobnob was excellent. I got the biscuits and gravy, country breakfast. Started off my day right here in Washington State. And now, it's time for Aberdeen. That's crazy to say. So my GPS, Google Maps, tells me that Aberdeen is an hour and 20 minutes away from where I am now. And during all of these drives, I told myself all along on this day that I would be listening to Nirvana albums, Nirvana's discography. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go in chronological order, but I am gonna be starting with Bleach once I depart here in a second. So I'll see you in Aberdeen. I'm gonna be blasting Bleach, setting the tone right. Something that I just remembered that I meant to share earlier that's pretty unfortunate is that the Seattle Museum, the Mopop Museum, they had that Nirvana exhibit that opened, I read, in 2011, and keyword had, past tense. I just missed it by 1 month. It's October 6th today, and I believe it closed the first week of September for good. That would have been on the agenda. In fact, it was until I found out that it closed down. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but man, I wish that was still open. Just got done listening to Bleach. It had been quite some time, year and a half, maybe 2 years. Still their second best album. Still better than Nevermind. I stand by that. And here we are, we made it. Welcome to Aberdeen, home of Kurt Cobain. Come as you are. This sign has kind of become the unofficial sort of gateway into Nirvana's story. Wow. Seen this sign online for so many years, and here I am, Aberdeen, Washington. Gonna continue to trek into the town, see some more landmarks such as Kurt Cobain's childhood home and also the Aberdeen Bridge that Kurt would hang out underneath and sleep underneath. Having a great day so far. Let's roll. Now where I am is even crazier. So this is the street that Kurt Cobain grew up on, and I want to remain as low-key and respectful as possible of this street and neighborhood because it's so peaceful and quiet out here. But this right here is the home that Kurt Cobain grew up in, right there. And it's just crazy to think about how much of Nirvana's sound started right there. Just looking at it is a crazy sight. Thinking about all of the different ideas that Kurt had that led to Nirvana, including learning how to play guitar and also just forming his music taste, diving into punk, Pixies, Stooges. Crazy. Wow. There's like plaques right here. Wow. Lived in this house during his toddler, childhood, and teenage years. Wow. Very cool, very surreal stuff. Just on this quiet morning in Aberdeen, this is where it all got started. Next up is another surreal spot, perhaps even more surreal, I would say. Come with me this way. So this is the bridge referenced in, most notably, Something in the Way. And there's a memorial over here I've read about. So let's check that out. Here's a sign thingy right here. This is not a gift shop. Kurt didn't live here. He lived there, didn't know him. Phil next door did. We have lots of traffic. We get tired of it. Watch out for needles. If you think there's trouble, call 911. Don't steal our stuff. Kurt Cobain landing. Wow, man. There are several Kurt Cobain quotes and tributes here, as you can see. Gone but not forgotten. Met you in 1992. Back in 2025. Be well. You can see the impact on people's lives that Kurt and his songs with Nirvana had on people, myself included. This is crazy. Wow. Got a guitar statue type thing right here. Wow. And there's the bridge. What a place. It's so still out here this morning. Just a bench to sit and take it in right here. It's worn and run down, but it's still scenic and pretty. Kurt's air guitar. I like that. It's funny. It says, I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. Iconic Kurt quote. Bunch of iconic Kurt quotes right here. This is even more profound than I anticipated. Wow. Wow. That's all I can really say. This is the spot, man. This is it. This is chilling. Wow. What a moment. I'm gonna stop filming for a second and just take it in. That was really special. I think that was perhaps what I was looking forward to the most. And I didn't look too much into it when I was planning the trip. I didn't know exactly what it looked like. But I'm really happy that's how I went into it, because it just made it, you know, kind of land all that much harder. Just seeing all that, knowing the background of it, that was special, for sure. Now, I believe I am going to drive by Aberdeen High School. And here you go. This is where Kurt Cobain went to high school. We've heard the stories of how Kurt wasn't the biggest fan of high school. Didn't like to go, but this is where he attended. And school is in session right now. It's a Monday, so people are in school right now. I'm not sure if there's any memorial or anything, any indication of his alumnus, but there it is. All right, everybody, I'm headed out of Aberdeen now. I can say that it was everything I wanted it to be. I was here nearly an hour and a half, and yeah, in terms of what I wanted to get out of it, I'm completely satisfied. It was great. Now I am headed back towards the Seattle area, but first we'll be stopping in Olympia, where I will see where Kurt once lived with Tracy Miranda, his girlfriend, after high school. They lived together in a home where he actually wrote about a girl. So gonna drive by that place and also stop at Rainy Day Records, which was one of Kurt's favorite shops. It's a cool little record store apparently, so gonna check that out, see what albums they got. If they have In Utero on vinyl, I might just buy it because it feels right. I already own it, but it would just feel right to buy it at Kurt's favorite record store in Olympia. So see you there. Just re-listened to Incesticide for the first time in several years on that drive from Aberdeen to Olympia. I'm driving through downtown Olympia right now, headed to Rainy Day Records first, which was, you know, Rainy Day Records was sort of, and still kind of is, this hub for the Olympia punk and indie scene. And I'm excited to see the inside because I just know I'm going to be able to picture, you know, Kurt and the guys digging through the rows and rows of vinyl records. Rainy Day Records right here across the way. It's been noted that Kurt would come here and shop whenever his girlfriend Tracy at the time was working at her job. I'm not sure what that was, but here it is. And we're gonna go inside, look around for some Nirvana records.
CD would probably be a little cheaper.
Boxes, Wow. All right. Mission accomplished. Got my favorite Nirvana album on vinyl. Got a cool little sticker too. That place was really cool. That's pretty legendary. Buying my favorite Nirvana album at the record store Kurt used to shop at in Olympia. That was super quick, mostly because I knew what I was going in there for, but now we are going to drive over and see where Kurt and Tracy lived, which is just right down the street. And there it is, right there. Tracy was a big part of Kurt's life. I mean, she inspired several songs. I mean, About a Girl, for one. Drain You, as well. I just noticed that. Got some Kurt representation up front. But yeah, 114. I believe it's Pear Street. That's where they live together. Looks like a nice little quaint place overall. Really cool. All right, it's almost lunchtime. I'll be back with a good little update here soon on what we're gonna do next. We're gonna head to Seattle. I'm not sure what exactly, but we're going to Seattle next. Stay tuned. Okay, well, my plan was to stop real quick at this restaurant called East Side Big Tom, which I had done my research, was a quick little drive-in, I guess, style burger place, you know, an old-fashioned burger, fries and shake style place, but they're closed on Mondays. Today's Monday. So I'm just gonna settle. Since I wanna keep things moving quickly, get up to Seattle, I'm just gonna get Wendy's, I think. I know, I'm settling for a chain, but I don't really have the time to do like research on another iconic Olympia spot. So I'm heading to Wendy's. I'm gonna eat that on the road and then figure out exactly where I'm going to go in Seattle. Okay, so I just ate my Wendy's and I decided where I'm going next. I'm going to go to the Hall of Justice recording studio, formerly known as Reciprocal, where Bleach was recorded. So that's where I'm headed now. I'm about 1 hour and 5 minutes away. After that, I'm going to go to Moore Theater in downtown Seattle, where the band played their first ever Seattle show. And then Paramount Theater, the iconic venue where they had their Halloween 1991 show, is somewhere around there as well. So I'll walk by there. That'll be really cool. I'm a big fan of that performance. I'm not sure what I have lined up after that. So that's kind of the agenda for now. Just re-listened to Nevermind. It had also been a while. Still hits just as hard as ever. I've actually been to the studio in Van Nuys, however that word is pronounced, in California, just north of LA. That was also really cool, just to see another Nirvana landmark. Okay, everybody, and here we are, where Bleach was recorded. Had a small budget. Believe that the reported amount that the album cost to record was just barely over $600, which, given late 80s, given really any time period, that's not a lot of money to record a full-length debut. So it's not a very big building whatsoever, but this is where they recorded, you know, About a Girl, Floyd the Barber, the entirety of Bleach, and was kind of the first real stepping stone of Nirvana right here behind this door. And I highly doubt, well, I'm not gonna go in, but it does open and smells old. But yeah, this is where it kind of all started. Thin, narrow building. As you can see, it doesn't go back too far. Really interesting stuff to see where the music was actually born. Just right here on a little street corner in North Seattle. Very cool. Especially just having re-listened to Bleach today. it ends there. And then this is just some other property. So yeah, there it is, everyone. Now, onward to Moore Theater, the location of Nirvana's first Seattle performance. See you there. Okay, so I'm now at the Moore Theater, and I double checked and I actually was wrong. So I'm not sure if I'll correct myself earlier in the video or just use this as my correction, but this was actually not the location of their first Seattle concert. It was more of a like launch pad moment where they performed at a Sub Pop festival alongside you know, the likes of Mudhoney and Tad, but it was not their first Seattle show. Still legendary though. They were still in their Bleach era. They hadn't really taken off quite yet, but this is the Moore. Their first ever show was at a bar called Central Saloon. I might swing by there, but it is kind of not the correct direction of where I'm going next, which is Paramount Theater. So might just use this in place of Central Saloon. It's a bit smaller, it's more of a bar, it's not really a real theater like this is. That's okay. I just double checked my notes to make sure I was on point with my narration and stuff, and I realized, wait, this isn't their first Seattle venue. Glad we got that cleared up. On to Paramount Theater. All right, y'all, Paramount Theater. Oh man, clearly parked incorrectly, but this won't be long. It'll be okay, everybody. Citizens of Seattle, it'll be okay. Can't believe this. I can't tell you how many times I've watched this set, how many times I've listened to this set. This is just legendary. It's one of the #1 shows I would have ever wanted to be in attendance of. Halloween '91. Wow. So iconic. What a performance they put on. Paramount Theater, man. Wow. Surreal. I mean, any huge Nirvana fan would be understanding what I mean right now. It's just like, what? Really? I'm standing here? Really? Probably one of their all-time great performances besides Reading Festival when Kurt came out on a wheelchair. But this is up there. Okay, so I do not get towed. I'm gonna get out of here. But lastly, because I don't think I'm gonna get over to Central Saloon, the site of their first official Seattle gig, I think I'm gonna wrap things up by heading over to the site where Kurt was found dead in his home in East Seattle, which is also right next to the Kurt Cobain Memorial Bench. I'm gonna drive by both, and like I said in the beginning, I kind of wanted this vlog to have an arc, the rise and then the explosion of going into the mainstream, and then kind of the fall. And so it's time to document the fall, everybody. As I come up to these final stops, you know, if there's one thing today has shown me, it's just how much of an impact Nirvana still has. I mean, these stops that I've gone on, these memorials, they're much more than just another great rock band, you know? You can feel it when you're at these places. There's a feeling that's just powerful. I'm just so grateful that I got to do this. All right, everyone. Just beyond this shrubbery right here is the house that Kurt Cobain passed away in. I'm not too surprised by this. I actually kind of anticipated there not being much of a view here. Just kind of makes sense. But right beyond there is where Kurt Cobain was shot. Chilling. Another quiet neighborhood. A nice one too. And lastly, to complete the day and the Nirvana pilgrimage, is the Kurt Cobain Memorial Bench. Just on the other side of his home. I drove around and relocated. I'm seeing Thank You, Kurt. I'm seeing Come As You Are, all kinds of stuff. You Are Missed. The home, you can actually see just a small glimpse of it. And this is the Kurt Cobain Memorial Bench. You can see some of the things people leave here. Wow. Wow. You've touched generations. That's what I was saying. That's the one thing that I've really seen with my own eyes today. I brought something of my own to put on the bench. Just want to find the best spot to do it in so I don't cover up other people's writing. So many things you could just sit here and read. Well, one thing that I brought with me that I'm going to put somewhere just seems right is this Rainy Day Record Company sticker, because this was Kurt's go-to spot in Olympia, and I bought In Utero here earlier today, as you saw, and it's my favorite Nirvana record. Changed everything for me, and just feels right. Well, I think I found the spot right here on the back. There's an opening right there, so yes sir, Kurt. Well, there you go, I did my part. Rest in peace to a rock legend. Wow. It's emotional, really. Definitely been feeling the need to just fight back tears this entire time I've been at this bench. You know, start in Aberdeen, go to Olympia, now in Seattle. You just see it all, and in one day too, and it's almost like I don't want to leave because the whole day has been building towards this, and you know, it's sad because it's just like what could have been. What could have been with Nirvana. What could have been with Kurt. I'll never forget this trip. Ever. This day. Just because of what it meant to me. And the entire reason I even made this video for you, for my brand, for content, I mean, it was all because of Kurt, man. So that's what it all goes back to, and that is just super special to me. And I hope I gave you a good glimpse into what Nirvana's world looked like over the course of this day. I can't recommend enough any Nirvana fan to do what I just did, to start in Aberdeen and then work your way through how it all unfolded up towards Seattle, and then at the end go to the bench and pay your respects in some kind of way. It is heavy, but so worth it, and exactly how I wanted it to go, if not even better. All right, I just got back to my hotel, shaved, showered, all that good stuff. Was reflecting on the day and was just feeling really grateful that it was even a possibility to happen. I've been wanting to do that for several years, dating back to when I first got into Nirvana. That would have been around the time the COVID quarantine kind of really kicked off. Almost 6 years, about 5.5 years of wanting to do this single day. And if you're a Nirvana fan, I can't recommend enough, whether you can do it with a group of fellow Nirvana buddies or, you know, alone like I did. Although, if you're still here watching this video, you accompanied me and I appreciate you sticking it out. I assume if you're still watching right now, you're a pretty devoted Nirvana fan, and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. If you want to follow me on any of my other platforms, those links will be in the description below. You can also subscribe right here. What I mostly post on YouTube at the current moment in my career are interviews with artists. So if you're interested in that, hit subscribe. Really appreciate you for watching. Wow. Once again, everybody, I'm Nick Fry, signing off for now.